All right, so at long last, let's talk about this here. The LG V60 when it comes to audio, right? I made a video talking about the what I've learned from like watching other reviewers and stuff like that, talking about what the V60 pretty much does when it comes to audio. And while that's not necessarily a video I would go by because it was just me giving like initial impressions, I was excited. I didn't just want to leave it. So I was just more excited about what this phone can do, right? And it's kind of like I don't know how to say this. It's kind of great to see that LG hasn't stagnated, being the only one that has done this, right? Since the V10, they've pretty much been the only one that have even attempted at having, well, aside from like the ZTE Axon 10 and like the last HTC phone that truly gave a damn was the HTC 10. So there's that. And what I want to say here is that if you're an LG person, if you've been holding out for a new LG since like the V20 or something, get the V60. Just do it because it does something to music, regardless of what you use, from IEM, from 50 to 100 to whatever, to power hungry studio monitors like the Sennheiser HD 650s, or in this case 6XX, that just make this hands down the king of mobile audio. And it's not just, oh, it's the new phone, so it's definitely the best one you can get right now. No. I would argue that from V20 to V30 to V40, you could skip from V20 to V40 and you would get those benefits. You go from V40 to V50, there's really no difference. You go V40 to V60, you're gonna get something really, really, really fucking like really substantial that I would say is like next level. And if you know, yeah, LG has been the king for a while, right? We'll see what Sony does this year with their phone, but in terms of like stuff we know already and stuff that has been solidified in the tech space, the V60 is king when it comes to corded audio. It has very good speakers. I would just always advise you to have them pretty much at max, because the moment you go down to like say 70% or 75%, it's pretty like, and that'll probably be mitigated if they added more stops to the volume, because if you guys see here, it goes down pretty fast, and that sucks for how good in quality these speakers are. It would be nice to have more stops on the speaker volume, because it's just something that would be nice. On Samsung phones, you could do that if you download the third-party Sound Assistant app, but that app is pretty inconsistent with how it works with certain apps. And also, say you're in a game or something like that. Let me boot one up. I guess I'll boot up Future Fight. As you guys can see, you can adjust by app, and it stays like that. But I guess I'll just turn the speakers on just so you guys can hear it. Very good stereo separation as well. They sound very nice. I wouldn't say there's really anything wrong with how they sound. Now, with every like phone speaker, there is a thing, like if you're watching YouTube, you will notice that with certain review, they mix their audios. They obviously mix their audio a different way. Some mix it lower, some mix it higher. So just keep that in mind. But with these, especially when like when you're playing a game and you turn on that LG 3D sound engine, it's really good. Bluetooth. You have all the Bluetooth codecs on here. There's really nothing that I would necessarily say with that. I don't have a headset that takes advantage of that. I'm still rocking the Tone Studios because massive battery life and they're just convenient for me personally. But you have every audio codec option on here. So there's really no drawback in terms of Bluetooth. If you have really good Bluetooth headphones, you'll be fine. You'll be set. But let's talk about the main event. The Hi-Fi Quad DAC. The ESS Hi-Fi Quad DAC, right? This has been something LG's been using since the LG V20, and every single year they've been tweaking it, right? It's basically been a V series thing until like the V30 or till after the V30. And then like the G7 had it, the G6 had it in specific markets. Oh, sorry. The G6 had it in specific markets, but the G7 is when they really just made it a thing across the board. And the G8 has it. And since the G8 is, and the G8X has it, and all the different variants of the, I don't know what happened, but sorry about that. But yeah, every different variant of the G8 has it. But yeah, the quad DAC is something that they've been proving year after year, and this is a new and improved quad DAC. I forget what number it is, but basically what the differences between audio between even the G8 and the V60 is like, this no longer has meridian tuning. I'm pretty sure LG is doing it, and they're doing a really good job at it. They've been learning over the years, obviously, how to tune audio, and they have they're like Bluetooth stereo speakers and stuff like that they make sound systems and stuff. So I don't really doubt that they know what they're doing in terms of that. So it's whatever. Yeah. They no longer have master quality authentication. They don't have that licensing anymore, though you can still get those files on your V60 and still play them just fine. You do still get your FLAC files. The quad DAC still does obviously support being able to drive headphones up to 600 ohms. There's still that. It still just has 75 stops, but this sounds louder than even the G8. When I first plugged in my tapes to them, right, I was like, why does this sound louder? Like, it's the same amount of stops, but it's louder, right? And that's something that was really nice. It doesn't sacrifice detail. It doesn't sacrifice clarity, definition. It doesn't sacrifice stereo separation. That's another thing that's pretty much a thing with this new and improved quad DAC, better audio crosstalk. So there's more differentiation between the left and right channels, right? And for me, that's something that I really do like. And listening to tracks like from the Doom 2016 soundtrack, BFG Division and Rip and Tear, it's you get quite a bit of what I noticed way more detail. Like, I've noticed more minute sounds in like different guitar types that Mick Gordon has used in that track, and it sounds really nice. It's like, it blew me away because that's not really anything I heard before. And I've had a FLAC file of those songs for like, since the game came out, basically. So it's like really nice. Then, the Doom Eternal track, The Only Thing They Fear Is You, that also sounds really good too. It also has really good like separation of sound and how things sound and stuff like that. Obviously, it really is like a treat. When you plug in the Sennheiser HD650s. And this is something that a lot of audio enthusiasts, like, oh, a phone can't drive these. It's like, okay, dog. I will risk getting a copyright claim or a copyright strike for this, and once you plug in some headphones, you get singular stops with the hi-fi quality. Once you turn it off, you get the regular basic crap, but where it's just, it just goes up and down really fast. But now it's just really fast and it works. And you get to have more granular control over that, which you've always had with LG phones. But I guess I'll play this Busta Rhymes track. Now let me turn the quad DAC off. Now, here's the problem, right? There's less of a difference between this, like, not using the quad DAC and using it now. Like, I can't get the G8 because I'm using it to record, but let me get my V20 here real quick. Okay, so I got the V20. Let's plug the 650s in. I don't have the same music on here, so I'm gonna just go to Google Play Music. Hey, Google, with Google Play. God, of course it did that. Please, for the love of Christ, stop having a limit on how many devices you could have on Google Play Music. It's stupid. But yeah, let's get to this. So,
here's a summary from Android Central. You didn't know.
Shut up. But I guess I'll go to After Hours, the new Weeknd album. And first, I'll turn off the DAC. And then I'll go to the title track. As you can hear it definitely, right? But hear how much quieter that is on the V20? When you turn on and off the quad DAC definitely puts more punch on the V20 because this is back when Qualcomm wasn't really taking corded audio seriously. So this is like definitely more. It obviously gives more of a punch and more of a difference with the V20 because it's an older phone. But I would still say that the quad DAC is definitely useful, especially if you have like those Bayer Dynamic 600 ohm headphones. Crap, my bad. I try to adjust, but especially you have those Bayer Dynamic 600 ohm headphones. I forget the model number, but you'll definitely see the difference there. But I guess I'll go back. Yeah, it's definitely not nearly as much of a jump in terms of loudness, in terms of volume. But you can definitely hear the difference still. And you press and hold it, you can get into these settings here. And it's pretty much the same as it's always been. It's still the thing that I would go to for audio in terms of corded audio and stuff like that. And there are no compromises. The only thing that I would say is that if you want to get planars, like in particular the 10p ones, and since my bag is right here, I guess I could just grab them real quick and show you. So the problem with the 10P1s is planars is that they require a lot of power, and the V60 and any LG phone with the quad deck definitely supplies that amount of power. But the problem is that they identify them as a regular headset, right? So what I would do, what the trick here is unplug it. Oh God, this is like a chord cacophony right now. Plug it into the phone, play music, and if I could find the right, if I could find the right one, plug it right back in, and it's instantly louder. Now, if you listen to a lot of like hip hop rap, planars aren't necessarily where I would go. The driver just requires too much fast movement and able to produce a quality enough sound for me personally with planars. But I would definitely go with something like the Short Tapes or electrostatic headphones that definitely can produce a lot of bass, or just always go with the, the tried and true Dynamics, which will give you that. And it's, or BAs and stuff like that, right? Balanced armatures. But these are probably my go-to IEM when it comes to the LG V60. It's it's pretty much no competition right now until I decide to get more pricey IEMs, but it's whatever. So in terms of what the V60 can do, it's pretty much the same, right? It's pretty much the same. Like, it's the king. There's nothing else you can say about it. But if you have a V20, get it. V30, get. Let me not go that route. If you require a smaller phone, maybe get the G8X. Maybe get the regular G8. But if you don't care about that and you want, one, a phone with a big old battery, two, something that could really power like car speakers or separate, speakers that are like, that you obviously can plug a cord into. Stuff like that, this is the phone to get. People still have a V20 because it's the only phone they have that could power a car speaker. They're very high wattage car speakers, right? My dad did it with the V20, the V10. Like, he done it with those. Not with the V40 yet, because he doesn't have his new car doesn't have a audio jack output. So yeah, but it's become this thing where people just sit here and say, "Oh, the V60, the LG, a phone can't power this stuff." It can't. You got to get out of the stigma of saying that a phone can't power something because you have a fucking 6-7-year-old phone. Like, people have Note 3s and say, "Oh, it can't power this." It's like, because you have a phone that probably doesn't have a headphone jack. Two, a phone that just doesn't have that kind of power anyway. So to just dismiss it because you don't have it is stupid, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about this. LG is still the king of all. Like, if you want a phone that can do it, that can give you that kind of power, that can make it so you don't have to carry a separate audio player, this is the phone for you. Any LG phone's pretty much the phone for you. I'd still say you're good with the V20. I'd still say you are, because even with the improvements of the quad DAC, there's still things about the V20 that I'm like, it's still one of the it's still one of the best out there, bro. Nothing has even tried yet, except for Sony, which we'll see what they do. But yeah, this is part of the thing, guys, for watching. Thanks for the support. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, whatever time of day it is your area. Thanks for 737 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike, share with people that are interested in this sort of content, and have a good one.